20th Century 1920 to 1929 History Project by Sarah Turner. The most important decade in the 20th century was the 1920s because that is when the most important factors of history happened. The rise of the KKK, Prohibition, rise of the gangsters, Dawes Plan, and the Cultural Liberation, and the rise of the modern society, also known as the Jazz Age, all happened during this time period. Without these things, we would not be where we are today. The events that happened during the 1920s defined who we are as a nation, and we will forever be in the history of how we were created. The 1920s was the most important decade because it involved the most important events, but also because it carries the most significant value of law-changing decisions. The rise of the KKK was started and founded on December 24th, 1865 by ex-Confederate soldiers, but was revived by Colonel William Joseph Simmons. Simmons revived the Klan after he saw D.W. Griffith's film Birth of a Nation, which showed the Klansmen as great heroes. Simmons made his living by selling memberships in fraternal organizations and looked to the Klan as a source of membership sales. In his first act that he officially took upon was climbing a mountain to set a cross on a fire to mark the rebirth of the Klan. The main goal of the KKK was to weaken the reconstruction of the governments and retain the power the Southerners who were in favor in the Confederacy. Prohibition was the ratification of the 18th Amendment, but was banned as in manufacture, transportation, and any sale of intoxicating liquors. The Prohibition law was to enforce the deduction of the increased sale of illegal production and sale of liquor, otherwise known as bootlegging. It was also known to prohibit the rise of the gang violence and other crimes. The law ended up taking support for Prohibition by the end of the 1920s. Prohibition caused several rallies and protests against it, and several that supported it. Prohibition seized main violence and crime rates, but also caused new ones to arise from people that were against the movement. The rise of the gangsters were mainly from gangsters. I give up. Miss Matthews, thank you for my ear. I will fail my class.